Yeah, they are still adding
And again, I
music.
love pissing away money.
It is expensive, the songs in getting them jam tracks for Fortnite. I'm so hesitant to buy a lot now, and I'm hopeful that in the future there will be like there's the promise that there will be more, like it's not just gonna, like there'll be more use to them. But like I don't know. It. I don't want to say
So
there's a lot of unknowns. It's just more of like, do I need this?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of spending money on promises.
Yeah.
we did not already have Vaseline or Hit Me With Your Best Shot in
No.
Rock Band.
In Rock Band? No, Vaseline was in Rock Band, wasn't it?
That's what I thought. But there's like posts from December 14th. Both Poison Pill and Vaseline have pounding drums, big guitars, and powerfully delivered vocals that'll grab you on the very first listen. This new DLC is available right now.
Were they
Is it
were they in
you?
an
Is
old
it
rock
me?
band and didn't get carried over into the
That
Yeah,
song
I
is
wonder.
definitely in.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was in an old rock band, and that's why.
Yeah, I think that's what
It
it
seems.
was.
It does seem weird for it to just be like, if it was an old rock band, it seems weird for it to have taken this long for them to get.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot, I'm not sure if it was in anything else, but Vaseline, I'm pretty sure was.
I think I spent like $100 in December just on Fortnite skins and songs. Like no
We're
joke.
keeping Epic in
Really?
business.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh yeah. I bought all the Ninja Turtles. I bought John Wick.
I
Bought
realized
lots of songs.
what was that, last night or 2 nights ago? Whenever you sent the video of them playing, of your kids playing, I like
Yep.
didn't. I remember that I didn't buy any of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I bought them all. I bought them.
Yeah.
I just caved and bought them all. I was like, fuck it. Now Liam wants them. I'm like, yeah, about that. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. I still don't have Master Chief. I need to buy Master Chief. I need Kratos. I need fucking all that shit.
Before we get into tonight's episode, which is of course PTC Movie Club, we have a couple of housekeeping things to go over. But before we even do that, welcome everyone to the Pass Controller Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about movies like tonight. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you tonight?
Did it start snowing yet?
I think it
concerned?
did a
You're
little,
not
but
looking
I think
outside
now
yet?
it's
Yeah.
raining.
Yeah, it's like light right now.
All right, whatever.
Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing over there, Mr. V-Bucks?
Good. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about this movie.
Interesting.
I want to be the last person to say what I think about it too.
Okay. All right.
Go to me last. Okay.
Was this
I
the
wanna hear
first time all of
everything-
us watching it?
Yeah. I started that a long time ago. I never like I was kind of watching it like with too much going on in the background. So like I was like I gotta watch this some other time.
Was this a 2023 movie or 2022
Yes,
movie?
It was last year, yeah.
23.
And then rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Dominic Forty. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So as we've been alluding to tonight, of course, is the PTC Movie Club pick for December of last year. So if you've been waiting for us to talk about Asteroid City, that is coming up shortly. But before we get into that, a couple of things we got to handle. I misspoke last episode about the final scoreboard for the year. Dom is still the champion.
Sorry,
Dom is still the champion. But we do have some other points and whatnot that need to actually get added to the scoreboard, but it still results in Dom being the champion. But we're not going to actually do that today because next week is when we will do our predictions for this year. So we'll just do it all then and recap the stuff that we talked about. So we will discuss that later. I just wanted to clarify because as soon as I hit like no podcast over, Todd was like, "What about this? What about that? Where are my points?" And I had to do a bunch of math. And if my math is correct, then Dom still wins. I'll do it out on the episode next week, so that way there's no hanky business, no hanky panky business.
Interesting day to bring up changes of results in voting, huh?
Jesus. Not planned. And then the other thing that we need to figure out right now, and I'm going to spur this on the group live without any we've like talked about it, but we hadn't decided on anything. So now it's a new year. I figure going forward for the movie club, we should change the order every year. So that way we're not just picking for the same month. That way, like,
Have we never changed the order ever?
I don't know. All we have done is when we first started doing it, Dom wasn't weekly on the show. So
Okay,
once
gotcha.
Dom started weekly coming on, then we just folded him into the rotation. So that was the only time I think that the rotation changed. So before Dom, no, because it still would have been a multiple of 3. So it doesn't matter. It would have been the same no matter what. So
Yeah.
we haven't changed it yet. So I think the best thing we can do is one of two things. We can, and I'm prepared for both. So whatever the group wants to do, we can.
This is new.
We can do right now. I'm prepared for both. It's New Year, Mike. New Year, new me, new show. We're gonna be prepared for things. Do what you gotta do, Dom. Do we want to name out of a hat, pull 4 out? That's the order, or do we want to do a monthly draft? I'll pull the order of the names, and you get to pick one by one. We'll go in a snake draft. So, like, let's just say we pick the order: me, Mike, Todd, Dom. I'll pick a month I want a movie for, then Mike will, then whatever, then Dom will, and then we'll rotate back and go back and forth until we've picked all 12 months. So do we want to just do...
I think the hat's probably easier.
Well, I don't know. I feel like people always like, oh, I wish I had October. Oh, I wish I had this. Now you have the chance to pick the month you want.
Doesn't matter to me. If
I
follow
do
that,
not have a... Yeah.
For the movie club rotation, Dom, would you rather us right now?
I think random pick makes more sense than
then
doing a draft.
Let's do it right now.
Because if you want to know the truth, I'm just going to pick 3
4 months in a row.
I'm just going to pick 3 months in a row so that I can.
Yeah, but you can. But you can do that.
You can do that, but like
we don't.
Or
someone can stop the vote. You know what I mean? They can swing in there and change that up.
Okay, fine. I'm October, November, December. Boom.
We're gonna just use a piece of paper that's already used. So let's see. We got a bunch of fucking scraps here. Built this in a cave with scraps. All right, so we got Dom. We got me.
Me?
We got me, Mike, and we got Todd. All right, crumple these up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Patreon tier for rigging it so Dom still gets October? What would Dom have to get October?
I would have had October every year, right? Oh no, just
he would have to be.
We switched it 2 years ago, right?
Was Creep for October or
I don't even know. Creep was like
that was the
February.
beginning of this year. Yeah, I had February. I had February the year before too.
So you had October this year, right?
I think it'd have to be second.
I had February and October.
Have we been doing this for 3 years? I don't even know.
Probably.
Yeah.
I hope not.
3 years of not a lot of.
Yes, because I did awesome Disney live action films, and then I did musicals, and then this year.
Let me throw those musicals.
We're gonna use my Salem Willows Hobbs giant fucking tin to shake these up.
Dumb. What was your October
He says, I'm gonna pick names out of the hat. He's wearing a hat, and he grabs a giant tin.
I didn't do Rocky Horror, right? I did.
And keep in mind,
what was the October this year?
Here's for proof, for posterity. There they are.
The Witch.
All right.
What was it?
The Witch.
The Witch.
Wait, yes. Okay.
We're shaking them up. We're shaking them up. We're shaking them up. First one. January's pick goes to.
Let's go, Dom.
And the winner is. Oh, I can't even open
No,
this.
I don't want this. I want February.
I crumpled it up too much. And the first pick of the year goes to.
I can't read it.
It says Todd.
Yeah.
Goes to Todd. So Todd is number 1.
God damn it. Wait, January 5th.
You have.
We could have did a draft. We could still do a
No,
draft.
it's fine. It's fine. It's completely fine.
All right. February pick number 2 goes
Give it to me.
to.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Brendan. He's gonna be Brendan.
Dom wants that
He will not pick a
October
hard movie.
spot.
He's gonna pick Hoobie Halloween.
He is.
I can't read
Big
that.
Mikey Bucks.
Oh,
Mike
shit.
gets number
Mike.
2.
All right.
Mike, you should initiate a trade for October. You get 2 months of somebody else's, and they get October.
I'll allow it. All right. March goes to Big Dommy Bucks, which leaves me
March,
with
November.
pick number 4.
July.
Yeah,
You get
that
November.
makes sense.
There it is. So the new rotation for this year is gonna go Todd, Mike, Dom, me. I don't even remember what the rotation used to be.
It was
Todd, me, Mike, Dom.
No.
No, it was Todd, me, you, Dom. So I think just Todd and I swapped.
So Todd, Mike. I just want to make sure I write this down before I forget. Dom, April, gross. So Todd is gonna get January, May, August.
Watching some Saltburn in fucking January.
Wait.
and wait, did I do that wrong? Did I count wrong?
Yeah, you must have, because now Todd's getting
Todd should
4
get,
months.
Todd should get September. Sorry. Mike gets February,
It's February.
June, and October.
Yep.
Dom gets March, July, and November, and I will get April, August, and December.
Wait a minute. So now it's Todd, me,
Me.
Dom, Brendan. Before it was Todd, me, Brendan, Dom.
So me and Brennan switched.
Yeah, you and Brendan switched.
Okay.
I had that backwards.
Nah, I mean, it's a shakeup. It's a regular old mess around. So that's done. So we have decided the order. Todd, do you know what your movie pick is going to be for the month?
I
Or
could technically pick a movie right now, but I would like to like a little time.
Is
just to
Saltburn,
like-
is Saltburn available?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. But I would like to just like mull over the list before I say it. I can give it to you by maybe by the end of the episode, but worst case scenario by tomorrow, or I might even do a
We
vote.
have Todd's list.
Oh,
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
have a
I-
couple others that I feel like I didn't add to that list though.
I mean, listen, if you can't give it today, that's fine. I mean, whatever. We'll just do it next week. But
Yeah, well, I know it's late in the month too, so I mean, like, I
yeah,
can
it'll
have it-
the people will lose a week, but you know,
Yeah.
you're a dickhead. They'll
I'll
hold you to it.
I wasn't expecting to be the one who got.
Yeah,
taken.
I probably should have preemptively had people maybe come with a potential pick for tonight, but whatever.
I have. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's a leap year. They get an extra fucking day. They can watch the movie.
We
That
do
is
no,
not how that
it's-
works.
The
100%
extra days in February.
Yeah, but it's still an extra day. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
I'm gonna leave it that long.
we got a great show for you tonight. There's your new rotation. Todd will pick for January, but he's not prepared for that tonight, which is fine. You know, it is what it is.
It might be by the end of the episode. We'll see.
It's a slow month. You know what I mean? You'll have time to watch a movie, cozy up next to the fire, next to the not fire, whatever you want to cozy up next to. Cat, dog, gerbil, you know, whatever's your situation. Anyways, we had a great show. A couple other housekeeping things real quick. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty from the Salem, Massachusetts area, the North Shore, Massachusetts, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. You want yourself something hot, sweet, and tasty, fresh out of the oven. Head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. Remember that one week where we were talking about trying to get a sponsorship from like a local cobbler or something? Well, why were we talking about that?
I think we were just talking about cobblers in general, because
okay.
I think we were
To
trying.
be fair, we were probably talking about Adam Sandler first.
I think that might have been how it probably came up.
That's definitely what it was.
Because it got me thinking. I sent Mike a text earlier. I drove by, so like near our house, there were like a lot of like small random closed buildings or like closed businesses that just have, I don't know, it seems like they've been closed for a long time. And one of them is this salon called Joe's Hair Salon that like I don't always drive that way, so I like kind of forget that it exists until I drive that way from my house and I drive by it, and I always am like, oh, I want to stop and take a picture of this place because it's kind of like ridiculous. It's like kind of creepy looking. Like it has, it's a very small building. It looks very closed. Still undetermined if it's actually an open business. Google says it is. Google said it was supposed to be open today until 4:00. It was not because we drove by it, and I stopped finally to take a picture. The windows have like these. How would you describe the windows, Mike? How would you describe the painting on the windows of that place?
It's like they commissioned a talented, like maybe fifth grader to do the art for the front of the building. They said, "Hey, just draw draw two faces for me."
Someone that's familiar with what humans look like. But,
Yes, they've got the general idea,
but hasn't seen one in a while.
Yeah. To me, it gives like the vibe of like old, like a very specific style of like horror manga. Like especially if you look at the eyes, Mike. Maybe the picture I sent you can't see it closely enough, but like it looks like Junji Ito like eyes. It's like very like creepy. So I started doing some Googling because I was like, this place, there's no way this place is open or like is a functioning business. And I stumbled upon the Salem Reddit, and other people were talking about this place, saying that like it's been there forever. It's like a creepy landmark that no one knows if it's actually a business or not, or if it's a front, or if it's just been closed forever. But it does have one review on Google from like 5 years ago saying they got a haircut there.
The problem is that I think these faces don't have noses, unless like they're like small dots.
It might be like a line. It might be like a line. Yeah. It is a very ominous thing. So, anyways, I don't know. Maybe we should get them to sponsor the show this year. There was a phone number, and Jen did call it, and somebody did answer, and she hung up right away. So, anyways, that's my anecdote for the day. Okay, so this is your last chance. If you don't want us to spoil Asteroid City for you, you should bow out of the episode now, because for the rest of this episode, we are going to spoil and talk about everything to do with the film Asteroid City. So, your last chance. Hit that pause button, come back later, hit skip, and never listen to us again. Whatever floats your boat. Leave us a 5-star review before you go. Anyways, as we do with all PTC Movie Club episodes, with a box office. Sorry, with a budget. Doesn't list the budget? Hold on, let me see if I can find the budget. Usually Box Office Mojo lists everything. According to Wikipedia, it had a budget of $25 million. With an opening. Do I ever give the opening? I don't think I give the opening. Would that be helpful or more confusing if I gave you the opening?
Opening, I feel like it would help.
Okay.
Yeah, don't even do it.
Don't do it?
It might give us more information than we actually need.
All right. So with the budget of about $25 million, allegedly, what did this take in worldwide? Whose pick is it, Mike? Mike, what did it take in?
25. So I don't know if it actually did well. I feel like it did not. So I'm going to say 60.
Okay. Todd?
It's way too high, first of all. I'm going to say 8.
I thought you were going to say 80. It's like way too high. 80.
No. I'll go 18.
Wow.
18 million.
Okay. Todd said under budget. Dom, where are you going to go?
Oh,
I'm
boy.
going to say... shit. Now I got to decide, though.
Yeah,
It's like, how do I split the difference?
You can't split that.
It's a spread, boy.
I'm going to go 59.
Okay. Well, by default, that puts Dom right there as the correct guess.
That was funny. I thought it was a huge bomb.
I mean, it did 25. It had a budget of supposedly 25 million, and it did almost 54 million. I feel like I don't know if that's good or bad for that type of movie.
It's not great. It didn't double the budget, probably. And I mean, it didn't double.
I think you're looking for 1.5 times budget.
Although this probably didn't have that much marketing, so
No,
I mean,
it definitely didn't.
it's probably closer to hitting the mark.
It's
but
closer to
I
breaking
thought this
even.
movie
Yeah.
bombed.
Yeah, breaking even.
And then for a Metacritic, or sorry, we do Rotten Tomatoes on movies. For a tomato meter, Mike, if anyone looked these up, then excuse yourself from it. But tomato and audience, Mike, what are you thinking?
I mean, I didn't look it up, but what was it? Variety said it was like the worst movie one of their worst movies.
Yeah, well,
right?
that's not the answer. So,
Right.
I mean,
not the answer,
that's not
but-
the answer. So you can still guess.
No, I'm saying like just
It was
based
their
on
second
that.
worst, right?
I didn't actually look at the list. I just know that it was
I'm pretty sure it was the
at
second
least
worst.
nominated. It at least came up there. So with that in mind, it must have. I'm assuming it might have got some splats. So let's say critic 55,
Okay.
and let's say audience 70. They might have liked it. I don't know.
What's splat under 70?
I forget. That's why I picked them.
I think it is under 70.
What about you, Todd? What do you think? Critic and audience.
All right, critic. I'm gonna go.
Critics agree. I just wanted to say that.
What's that?
I just wanted to say critics agree.
I'm gonna go 80 with critics, and I'm gonna go 65. I said 80, and yeah, I'll go 80, 65.
Okay. Dom, take us home.
All right, so I was going to say 65, so I will stay with 65 for critic.
Okay.
But audience, I'm going to have to switch it up. I don't remember. Mike, what was your audience score?
70.
Yeah, that's
I
not bad.
can't even split the fucking difference.
Did you say the critic was lower than the audience?
I said the critic was lower than the audience.
Oh, because I feel like audience.
I don't know. It's a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Would you say 70, Mike?
Yeah.
I said 70.
I'm gonna say 75.
So,
You were all wildly incorrect.
Yeah,
Todd
right.
is the closest on both. Todd said 80, 65. It was a 75 and a 62.
No, Dom said 75, didn't he?
Dom said 65, 75. So Dom,
Yeah, I just
if Dom flipped, he would
Gotcha.
have
Okay.
beat you and then tied. So yeah, I mean, I think 75 tomatoes is a solid. I don't know what Wes Anderson's other films. I'm actually
Pretty
just
high.
curious now.
probably around
They're all
there.
pretty high.
Yeah.
I think this
80s.
is probably one of the
80s.
lower ones. Yeah, easily.
Let's see. All Wes Anderson films ranked by Tomato Meter. Does anyone have a guess what number one is?
You
You know what? It's the beginning of the year.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Hold on, it's the beginning of the year, and since we are resetting the leaderboard, this will be the first point of the night. Everyone gets a true guess here for a point, and you can guess the same thing. This is just a blanket point. So, what do you
I have
think,
another guess.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, what Wes Anderson's top?
It's between
now
three.
I have
three.
another.
I have three that
I have another thought.
Well,
I'm gonna
you
stick.
can't
I'm gonna
guess
stick
three.
fantastic. I'm gonna stick fantastic Mr. Fox.
Wait, what was the question again? His
Highest.
highest tomato.
highest tomatoes. Is that critic or audience? I forget.
Critic.
Critic.
Well, hold on,
Uh,
hold on. Let's time out. This is simply his highest rated film on Rotten Tomatoes. So that doesn't necessarily mean it is just critic. It is probably going to weigh both scores.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm gonna change anyways.
I might go Tenenbaums.
You guys haven't even mentioned the ones I'm thinking of yet.
No, because the other one that I'm thinking, the other thing, Mike, are you picking Royal Tenenbaums?
I'm gonna stick with it.
Grand Budapest was the other one that I was.
Yeah, that's
thinking
what I was.
probably
That's
gonna
one
be
of the
really
three.
high.
That's one
Yeah.
of the three.
Yeah.
So
That one was actually nominated, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
probably-
Fantastic Mr. Fox was too, though.
Yeah, it was.
So Mike, are you locking in Tenenbaums?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Dom,
What's
are
the
you-
other one you're thinking? I'm gonna stay with
Me?
the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
So the other one is Moonrise Kingdom, which
I don't
feel
I don't
like
think people loved that though.
I'm gonna go stick with Moonrise Kingdom.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
So we're gonna go
Correct
Tenenbaums,
answer was, of
Moonrise,
course,
and Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Life
it's gonna be.
Aquatic.
It's gonna be fucking. Yeah,
It's gonna be
no,
Life
it's definitely not Life Aquatic.
All right. Coming in at number 10 is The Life Aquatic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even though that's like one of my favorites.
Coming in at number 9 is The Darjeeling Limited.
Still haven't watched that.
Coming in at number 8 is The French Dispatch.
Dispatch.
I haven't watched that either.
One of you is coming in at number 7. Who is it?
No, it's gonna be Royal Tenenbaums. I don't know.
Wow.
I think Dom's
I
got
don't know.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
It is indeed the Royal Tenenbaums, number 7. Number 6 comes in at
Probably.
Which
probably
is
still my
wild. That's how
favorite.
good his category
Probably
is.
still my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Rushmore, Bottle Rocket are probably 6 and 5.
yeah.
Ooh. Go ahead.
No, apparently you're
do you
right.
want to change your guess to something?
No.
No,
Okay.
you can't change it.
Number
No,
6
not
is Bottle Rocket, and number 5 is Rushmore. Is Jason Schwartzman in all of his movies?
Not all of them, but he's in a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's the Michael
might-
Caine
He might
to
show up in all of
to
them.
Chris.
He's the
Chris
Leo
Nolan.
and Scorsese of Wes Anderson.
Number
Well,
4.
and then Bill Murray's his Pesci.
Bill Murray wasn't in this one though.
I know, but he's in almost all of them.
I know.
I feel like
That's why I said he's his Pesci.
Bill
'cause he's-
Bill
Pesci's
I
not
feel like
involved.
Bill Murray was maybe supposed to be Tom Hanks's character.
Tom Hanks.
Probably.
When Tom Hanks showed up, I was like, "Is that Bill Murray?" And then I squinted, I'm like, "Oh no, it's Tom Hanks."
Number 4 is the Isle of Dogs.
I forgot about that one.
I love that movie so much.
Number 3. We're coming down to it now. Number 3 is
Right.
The Grand Budapest Hotel,
Oh, all right.
which
we
means
got one.
that
We got 1 and 2.
which means
Yeah.
that 1
We
and 2
actually-
has been picked.
We actually said,
I think Dom's got got this on lock.
we actually picked the top 3, Todd.
We did, yeah.
So I will be a generous
Why they tied?
host here. So both The Fantastic Mr. Fox and Moonrise Kingdom have a 93 tomato meter,
Nice.
but one of them is in first place because the audience
Because of the
score
audience score.
is a 1%
Gotta be
differential.
Fox. It's gotta be Mrs. Fox.
So we can leave it as a blanket. They're basically the same because the audience score can change, I guess.
Let's give him Mike the
You really can actually. Yeah.
So you have
Hold on, let me sign in right now and stop fucking.
Fantastic
Google.
Mr. Fox has an 85 on audience, and Moonrise Kingdom has an 86. So that
Yeah,
bumps
I think we just leave it,
Moonrise
though.
into 1. Give you both a point?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Because like audience is so like people who like just like don't like Wes Anderson can go on that audience and be like fuck Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
That's,
Uh,
Brenden, you ever seen Moonrise Kingdom?
no.
Sorry, we can't keep on doing.
I
Wes
mean,
Anderson.
out of these
Give me a
movies,
sec.
I've seen Fox, Isle of Dogs, Tenenbaums, and this one. Okay. That brings us to the main course for the evening, which is, of course, Asteroid City. Mike, being your pick, what did you think of this movie overall?
You know, you get what you signed up for. I said, let's do a Wes Anderson film. We got a Wes Anderson film. And would I watch it again? Probably not. But
I think I would
No.
watch it again.
it was a thing.
So overall, did you like it or did you not like it?
I don't know if I took anything away from it. That's the problem. I will hear what you guys have to say about it, and then I can revisit my thoughts. But I don't think I took anything away from it.
Maybe that's
I'm
by
curious.
design, Mike.
I'm curious, Brendan. Do you still have the top 10 Wes Anderson films, or is it all? I guess is it all of his films?
It was just the top 10. It was not all of them.
Like Asteroid
Curious.
City, I don't think was listed, right? It wasn't.
No, because Asteroid is
I don't know when the
75,
list came
62.
out. Okay. I wasn't sure when the list had come out. That's why I wasn't sure if that's why it wasn't ranked.
I think I should be able to sort it by director, maybe? Let me check if I can do that.
I'm just curious where this sits in his catalog on Rotten Tomatoes.
Can I do that by that? Oh, that now I don't know what's going on. We might have been wrong with that other list. What is The Rat Catcher? Is that a movie?
Mm.
It's a 17-minute thing. That doesn't count.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That is 100%. So
Well, he had a movie with Benedict Cumberbatch this year that's like supposed to be one of his best movies ever, and no one fucking talked about it, which is I think is kind of weird.
Oh yeah, 96.
Yeah, fucking wild.
What's the name of it?
Literally, I don't know.
Oh, it's a Return to the World of Roald Dahl.
Oh, is that what it? Why? Okay, that makes sense.
The wonderful story of Henry Sugar.
Yeah, yeah. People raved about that movie, and no one talked. Like no one saw it. No one's talked about it. Like nothing.
I think if I shuffle these by that,
I mean, it's not super important. I was just trying to
Yeah.
see where it was ranked in his
I mean,
catalog.
it has these other things in here that I'm gonna ignore things on this list that don't have a box office because I think that will eliminate some of these ones that seem to be just like short films or something. Like I don't know what The Swan is. It's a 17-minute comedy that came out last year. So I'm just gonna go.
So this I'm looking at his movies right now. Anyways, it has the same tomato meter as The French Dispatch, which I believe was number 9 on your list.
Yeah. So it's better than the Darjeeling Limited according to Tomato Meter, and it's
And
it
it's
is
better of The Life Aquatic.
yes, and it is tied Tomato Meter, but it has a lower audience score than the French Dispatch. So that's kind of where this sits right now. According to
I was
Tomato
just
Meter.
gonna say like it's not one of my favorite Wes Anderson films.
Which one? Oh, yes. Yeah.
Asteroid City.
Okay.
I mean, that's also a tough thing for me to say because I just listed that Life Aquatic was at the bottom of his list.
but
I probably put Life Aquatic above this movie.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was a fine movie. I have no reason to rewatch it anytime soon. It felt less Wes Anderson to me than most of Wes Anderson's films do. Like it had less of his quirkiness to it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it still had some of it. It just like was framed differently, I guess.
You want to go last, Todd, with this?
Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay. I will say that I am still trying to figure out how I feel about the film overall, or if I would say like this is a good movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. Off the just broadly, I'll say things like I think the set pieces and set design and cinematography of this movie are some of my favorite, I think, ever. Like the colors of this movie are like incredible. Like I don't know how else to like say how much I enjoy like just the pastel colors of the like I don't know enough about color theory to like say anything like that. Like maybe there's something going on with that in the movie, but it is so just like striking. It is so specific. It is just very intentional.
I think a lot of the like clothing is supposed to like offset the background.
Yes.
Like they're in the desert.
Yeah.
So like the clothing is supposed to offset the
and
it's the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a of a time. It's also in the desert. I think that's part of it because just like everything out there is going to be super like faded and bright. But it's just I don't know. It's so visually striking, and I think the cinematography is just so good at so many moments. Just with how but that's some of his bread and butter. I think from the few Wes Anderson films that I've watched, it's like he has a very distinct style, and he's doing a very specific thing. And I think in that regard for this movie, it's like some of its best from the stuff that I've seen. I think it's like just really well constructed shots, and that was some of the stuff during some of the slower moments of the movie that were like pulling me along because I was just like, I don't want to look away from this because it's just beautiful to look at. And it going back and forth between this very vibrant world to a black and white world, and then kind of fusing those at the end. Like it played around with a lot of stuff like that I really enjoyed. there were definitely moments, especially at the end, where I was like, what the fuck was the point of this movie? And we can get into that later.
I think that was the point of this movie.
And so we can get into it a little bit later, but I like, the more I thought about it, and then I like, did some digging around online, maybe I missed something, like maybe whatever, and I read some other opinions, and then I started thinking about more stuff in the movie, and I was like, this, I actually like what potentially this movie's trying to do, which is poke at the audience, Wes Anderson poke at himself, the actors kind of having this meta grappling, both the actors in this sort of 3-tiered thing we're watching, where it's like we have the play that's happening in color, then we have the sort of, I don't know, like behind the scenes, whatever however you want to describe, like the fucking Walt, why can't I think of his name? Not Bryan Cranston's parts, where it's like it's supposed to be like a documentary or something. It's supposed to be like
Adrian Brody.
Yes,
it's a movie about a stage show with actors playing actors in a stage show.
Yeah. Like there's so many like meta levels and like tiers to kind of what's going on that like,
and Adrian Brody's there.
That I think at a point are, I don't know, you can maybe fucking eye roll your head to fucking you pass out. It like, okay, what the fuck? But I think when you think about it a little bit more and like try to dissect maybe what's going on, I think there are some interesting just things that exist there, and you can interpret that however you want. And I definitely took some stuff from reading other people's thoughts, and then I came up with some of my own things, just kind of reflecting on scenes in the movie or things that are happening. And yeah, I don't know. The more I think about it, and I have a feeling the longer this movie sits with me, I think I will end up liking it more over time. And I don't know when I'll watch it again, but I actually do kind of want to rewatch this movie at some point and just see if it, knowing the things I know now, or at least thinking about the things that I'm thinking about now, if different things would become apparent to me, or different things would mean something to me, or whatever. What about you, Todd?
This movie caught me completely off guard, and I'm just gonna say that this is one of my favorite movies I've watched in like the last couple of years. I fucking absolutely loved it. Like everything about this movie. Like I'm pissed at myself I didn't watch it sooner. I don't understand the negative reception it got. Like I fucking like love. Like this is one of my favorite movies we've watched. Out of all the movies we've watched.
Yeah. Wow, Mike, you just got the top pick. The top pick of the fucking past 3 years.
And I get why people wouldn't like it. So it's not like something like, like I don't think people are wrong for disliking it. But man, this movie, just like I loved every person's performance in this movie. Like you said, the cinematography, the way it looked, the whole way of dealing with like loss and like the way it all comes together. And man, Scarlett Johansson's so fucking good in this movie. Jason Schwartzman's so good.
They're all so good. They're all so good.
I don't even like Tom Hanks that much, and Tom Hanks is so fucking good in this movie. Like, I just love this movie, and like, I can't wait to watch it with Amanda. This is a movie I will definitely be rewatching.
Yes.
Yes, I fucking loved it. Absolutely. And I was going into this movie kind of negative. I was like, I don't really even want to watch this. And it made me realize I gotta start watching these movies and fucking stop thinking like, because I've always loved Wes Anderson. But I've kind of fallen off on Wes Anderson because I'm just like, I never saw Fantastic Mr. Fox. I haven't seen probably 5 or 6 of his last movies I haven't even seen. And
we just talked about how his Benedict Cumberbatch movie, we completely forgot about.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, that scene at the end with fucking Jason Schwartzman and what's her name? Harley Quinn.
Robbie.
Yes, dude. The movie blew me away, and legit blew me away. And I feel like I was like, is something wrong with me? Because I feel like everyone hated this movie, and I'm like, I just really fucking loved it. I love everything about it.
I think one of the things that especially seeing that there was a lot of backlash, or people didn't like the movie, or not backlash is the wrong word, but a lot of people didn't like this film. I think kind of what we talked about a little while ago. I think part of that is maybe it's when you have a director like this, it's you're kind of really just putting his movies up against his own movies. And if you like a lot of his films, or you have like some favorites, or like maybe some of his films are like your favorite movies of all time, I feel like it's going to be hard for anything he ever puts out to ever kind of like hit those same notes for you. Not saying it can't or it won't, but like there's a lot of stuff going on there. But one of the Margot Robbie scene is so fucking good. The scene, okay.
Didn't even know she was in the movie. I was like, wait, what? I was like,
So
hold on.
one thing I wanna get. I had no idea Jeff Goldblum was in this movie. When the fucking intro starts and the actors' names are going by saying like what role they're playing,
that scene's so good
and
too.
it says Jeff Goldblum as the alien. At that
I
moment,
didn't see that.
At that moment, I'm sitting there. I looked at Jen and I was like, I don't know what this movie's gonna be about, because I didn't know what the movie was gonna be about, but then I was like, there's an alien? Like, what is happening?
Right.
So if like the first half of the movie, where it's like you got stuff going on, they arrive in Asteroid City, then it cuts to Edward Norton.
Ed Norton.
Yeah,
Norton was in this movie.
Edward Norton. I got like, I confused myself with Hulk stuff. I was like, wait, Eric Bana? No, Edward Norton. And it goes back to black and white, and Ed Norton's there, and Jason Schwartzman walks in with ice cream, and he's like feeding him ice cream, and they're having like all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, maybe, and this is partially because there's obviously a government element to the beginning of the movie with with what's going on there, and just in my head going, why is there Jeff Goldblum as the alien? Why is this a thing? So in my head, I was like, maybe this is gonna be like a weird government cover up, like there's like I don't know, I was like trying to like put these pieces together that I did not have anything to make a puzzle out of, and I was just trying to like think about what the movie could be about.
I was doing ways though, like I was very curious where the movie was going. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it real? I was at some point in the movie I was like, is this movie actually real?
Yes,
or like, I'm like,
exactly.
where it's like yeah, like, but I will say my biggest gripe is like always kids. The kids are so good in this movie, like the honorary kids that won like the competition.
Yeah.
And that song at the table with like the kids when when the kid goes up there and sings the song with Maya Hawke and everything. Dude, that's oh man, I loved every second of this movie. I can't believe.
And Todd hates kids. He historically hates kids and hates singing.
I hate kids in movies.
I'm pretty sure he hates Scarlett Johansson.
No, honestly though. No, I love Scarlett Johansson, but I will say this about Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson always makes me like kids in movies. Like Moonrise Kingdom is a perfect example of that. Like, and then Royal Tenenbaums, fucking another one. But like, this movie's. Yeah, I really was expecting to be bored out of my mind from what I read, and I can see why people would be bored with this movie. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, man, it had its claws in me the whole time, and I was just fucking loving every second of it.
I kept waiting for Steve Carell to be something.
Something?
Because he was
right.
so robotic the whole movie.
Yes.
I was like, what is going on with Steve Carell?
He was like, Jen and I said this to each other when we were watching the movie. He's so good in this movie, and he is so fucking funny without doing anything funny. Like, I forget what the I think it was one of the moments, not like the first time, where one of the characters asks about like the vending machine that has the real estate in it.
Yeah.
But his like delivery, the response to like whatever he said, it was not a joke. It was not supposed to be funny, I don't think. But just like, he's just so funny without being funny. It's so weird.
Literally not a single bad. Like everyone nails what they're doing in this movie. Yeah. Like, and that's very rare. That like I liked every fucking character.
Yeah.
There was never a point when I'm like, oh, this character's here. And that scene, the scene when, what's his name, Bryan Cranston's just like, oh. Wait,
am I not supposed to be in this scene?
Yeah. Am I not supposed to be in it? It was so good too, but I didn't think it was super funny, but I was thoroughly entertained by the entire movie. There was some funny scenes, but like.
So I want to bring something up about that Bryan Cranston thing. I don't understand how in the meta of the movie that's supposed to work. Because I don't think he's there at the play parts. Because isn't he doing the flip side of that? Not to say that Bryan Cranston isn't real. I was just confused how he ended up there. Because there's another thing. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but I was watching for it the whole fucking movie. There is a character that appears in a lot of scenes in the background. A lot. And that was because it happened early, too. There was like a scene where they were like drinking. 3 of the characters were drinking like cocktails out of some martini vending machine. And he like comes in, pulls out a flask, has a drink, walks out. He's in the background, and then he peeks his fucking head over and like looks in, and then leaves. And he
Wait, who are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know who the character
I
is.
can't remember. I can't remember who he is either. He shows up. He shows up in the background in a lot of scenes.
So that's kind of why I was like, I wonder if this is like a government like cover. Like I just kept trying to be like, there's got to be something going on here, because I'm pretty sure he's even in the corner of the diner when Midge and I'm not gonna try to do character names. It's gonna fuck everything up.
Let's do actors.
Jason Schwartzman and ScarJo meet for the first time in the diner. I'm pretty sure he's sitting in the corner watching them. This dude is in so many scenes. I'm also pretty sure I couldn't make it out all the way in the scene where Schwartzman and Margot Robbie are on the balconies talking to each other.
He says, "Are you the wife that played my actress?"
Oh, you're talking about Matt. You're not talking about Matt Dillon, right?
No.
No.
I'm talking about there's a guy that is constantly in the background watching them. He is down on the street in front of the theater watching them. I don't know what the character is supposed to be, but he's in so many scenes just like showing up. Towards the end where the alien comes a second time and everyone freaks out, and that's when Jason Schwartzman leaves the set and goes into the back. Before he does that, that guy runs across the screen. Like fucking super cartoon, like he's just like running across the screen. I want to know more of what that character is supposed to mean, because he definitely I think is more than just a thing. I think he must mean something.
I mean I didn't notice him, but I would assume that.
I rewinded the movie at 3 different points, Mike, to make sure I saw this dude. I was like, there's no way that I'm making this up.
To be honest, at a certain point, I was just like, this is too meta for me. I'm just going to take it at face value. We've got. I'm watching a movie about a play that's being made by whatever. So by that logic, I could only assume that if this guy appears multiple times, then he is just an extra that had multiple parts, or like they only had so many actors in the quote unquote film that he has to keep recurring.
I think like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like ScarJo, like even I know she was great in Marriage Story, but man, she's so underappreciated. I feel like when it comes to like, she's just so fucking good in this movie. Like she hands down, like the scene in the bathtub when like you're like, oh, did she just kill herself? And then she's like, now read the lines. You know,
that's such a good scene. It's so good. I love all of the scenes of them reading back and forth, and I like
the whole windows back and forth. Yes, is so good.
And I like how that parallels like him and Margot at the end of the movie too. Like, oh my god. Tell you the seed composition, but I want to go back. There's like another thing I still want to talk about that I keep getting off on another tangent. To go back to what you said, Mike, the movie's too meta, like this and that, and I think the movie works on two ways, because I think at its like super like face level thing, when you get to that like room where they're all talking, and then Jason Schwartzman stands up and he's like, "You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep." I think that's what he says.
Yeah, and then the alien comes out.
Yes, the alien showing up doesn't make any sense. But or no, I guess now I need to look back at that scene and see if he is sitting in the room somewhere. Is he sitting in the room somewhere?
I think he is in the room.
Yeah,
it's Jeff Goldblum without his. He has has the half of the suit on. I think.
That's the end when he walks off set, because that's the other thing I wanted to talk about.
That was when Jason Schwartzman walked by him to talk to.
So when he leaves the set while they're performing the play and goes in the back, he walks by Jeff Goldblum talking to someone else behind the scenes, and he's like Jeff Goldblum's character, because I rewinded that too because I wanted to like hear exactly what he said again. He says something like, "I think I'm supposed to be a metaphor," and I think Jason Schwartzman or the other character stops and goes, "A metaphor for what?" And he goes, "I don't know. I'm still thinking about it." That's like that's what this movie is. Like the movie is that it's. I think maybe this is that, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm still processing it. And I feel like that's such a core thing that this movie is trying to do. It's like it wants you to think about stuff. If it means it, whatever. If it does mean something to you, great. If it doesn't, also whatever. Because I think it parallels the next scene of dialogue where he sits down with Adrian Brody and he goes, "Am I doing this right?" And I think that in itself is like a whole nother level of that sentence in that scene is like meta up and down, meaning so many different things. It's like Jason Schwartzman, the actual actor, sitting there talking to Adrian Brody, like, am I doing this right? As like the actor himself in real life. Like, am I doing this role right? But it's also that same character who is playing the role in the play, like, am I doing this right? And then it's also like another stretch of probably just an extension of like Wes Anderson. Like, am I doing this movie? Like, am I doing this right? You know what I mean? Like, it's like every level of involvement in that film of, am I doing this right? And then it pulls it back to, because one of the other things that Jason Schwartzman's character struggles with, because he brings it up multiple times in the movie, I think it's after the scene where she is laying in the tub with the pills. It's in one of their scenes across the windows, and he, for no reason, burns his hand on the thing. And before that scene and after that scene gets referenced as like, why does he do this? Oh, you're going to say something dumb?
No. I was going to say that they brought it up earlier in the movie. Like,
Yes.
Why does he burn his hand on the...
Yeah. And when you look at this movie as like...
Is he just trying to feel something, though? Is that what
So-
like, they're trying to say with that?
So
Like,
part of this movie is like definitely how people handle grief.
yeah, 100%.
Because like... go ahead.
I think the major like point of this movie is like finding meaning in anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
every character in the movie is trying to find meaning in
Something.
everything they're doing, in something. Like
Yeah.
every character, it feels like, is trying to find some sort of meaning in like everything that's happening.
And it spans everything. It's like the kids are finding meaning through science. Then there's the kids in that little school group with Maya Hawke that are finding meaning through religion, or she's at least trying to do that.
Can we talk about Jeffrey Wright and how good he is in the
Jeffrey Wright was really
in-
great in that.
Dude.
Jeffrey Wright.
That the scene between him and the Asian student when like they're going back and
They're, like,
forth,
screaming back.
and then he's like, he gets a note from the president, and he's like, I forget what he says. He's like, president's pissed. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's all it is. You know, it's so good.
I like
back
him
and
doing
forth.
his little opening speech
His
where he's
opening
like,
speech is so
he's like
good.
chapter 1.
And then he just like
Oh, good.
puts everything to the side and like walks up to a separate
It's
microphone.
so
Yeah.
good. Oh my god.
I
thought Tony
Tony
Revolori was like really good as just being like the like yeah you did that good.
Yeah, he's perfect. Yeah, right. I love it. There
Fuck,
wasn't
man.
a single bad performance in this movie.
Just
There
talking
wasn't.
about this movie more, it's like it might have been the best movie that I watched that came out last year.
Dude,
I
dude,
sent
it's
you-
up. It's.
I sent
it
you
might
guys a
be my
picture.
favorite.
I sent you guys a picture.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guy in the background is the character that me and Brendan are both talking about, and it might be this guy, which I can't get
Oh,
my
I
finger.
know.
Yeah,
who you're
I can
saying
see.
now.
I
He's
can
in
Yes,
see.
there a
that
lot.
is the guy. That is the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like
Was he
right
a government
there.
guy though? Wasn't he a government guy?
At some,
He just kept showing up in the
so
background.
I'm pretty sure at some point, once the quarantine starts happening, I'm pretty sure he is at some points behind. But who
He
knows
is,
if he's
yeah.
actually part of the government, because he's just in the behind of most of the scenes. So I
The other
don't know.
thing I want to bring up is we talked about how he goes back to talk to Adrian Brody. So theoretically, Adrian Brody is part of the like stage hands. He's not in the play. He's not in the movie. He's just like part of the group that is putting on the play. Right? We can agree on that.
So Adrian. So here's the other thing that happens in the movie. Edward Norton dies. Edward Norton is Jason Schwartzman, the actor, not in the play, his
Yeah.
lover.
So he's having grief in the play and
Exactly.
in that. So
Like
it's
that's
yeah,
there's so
yeah,
many levels of that.
exactly.
But I think Adrian Brody then ends up taking over the play. I think that's what he is. Because when
Okay.
Adrian Brody's like
So-
ex-wife
so-
comes in, she's like telling him, you should change this scene. Like you should do that,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and then we watch that scene and he doesn't
Yes,
listen
he
to
doesn't
her.
listen to her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You should say it after the door shuts, which
Yeah.
is also a good scene
Yeah,
because
right.
she says you should say it after the door shuts, and
what-
then
and
she
then
shuts the door and says goodbye, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so dumb, and I love it.
Adrian Brody is like shadow boxing a
I don't
A
understand
ball.
that. Yes,
and the ball is literally
I know.
behind him. That's why I keep like he's not part of the play. This is real life, and he's still like shadow boxing
Yeah.
something where the prop is behind him. Like,
yeah,
So there was one thing that confused me with this movie, and it was the three daughters. And I was reading something that they were like Greek.
So yes. So I wanted to bring this up too. Pandora, Calliope, and I can't remember who the third one. Pandora is definitely about loss.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what like that. Yeah, once I read, it, I was like, I caught that, but I was like, I didn't catch it when I was trying to figure it out when I was watching it. I was like, what are they?
I'm
Calliopeia.
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 Yeah. There's
I can't remember the story that Calliopeia is in.
I don't know enough about like different sects of, because I think this is like a version of Christianity, Episcopalian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know enough about that to know if it means anything other than, but I really enjoyed the line when he finally starts to tell the kids that their mom died.
Yeah.
I had to write it down because it made me laugh. Let's say she's in heaven, which doesn't exist for me, but you're Episcopalian, and
So
that
good.
that
So
line
good,
was
right?
just so fucking good. I had to write it down.
Jason Schwartzman's like another one who's great in this movie. He's just like he plays that part so well. Yeah, it's so good. Oh man, this is like I gotta say, this is like one of those like I watch movies I don't watch movies as much as I used to, but this movie just fucking hit me in a way that I was like, oh, this movie's sticking with me. This is like one.
It's one of those things where I can, like you said earlier, I can 100% see why somebody would not like this movie, and that's fine. Like I think this movie is only gonna hit, like, you might enjoy certain parts of it, but I think it's only gonna hit for you
You gotta be in the right mindset
if you
too,
want to have this type of like, for a really shitty like a thing to make it similar to, like, if you want to have that like Alan Wake 2 type of like playing around on different planes of existence type of mess around. A little, I don't want to say a little less cohesive, because Alan Wake 2 is a little different in regards to like, and I don't want to like spoil Alan Wake 2 stuff, but like it's clearly like pushing you along in a specific direction, trying to tell you a specific story. There's room for interpretation in that stuff too, but I think this movie is really trying to like Dom said, I think that's a really good way to put it, that this movie is like about pretty much everyone in the film trying to find meaning out of anything. And I think that's just what this movie is to the viewers too, is like, try to find meaning out of it. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And I think it comes back to, am I doing this right? Where it's like, they're taking a swing, they're trying to do something. Maybe you think it's bad, maybe you think it's good, but I think the am I doing this right is like not irrelevant, but it's like, I don't know, the fourth fucking person watching Adrian Brody to be like, you're doing great. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I still don't know if I like the scene where they all get up and start shouting, "You can't fall asleep if you don't. You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep." Which I like the line. I just don't know if I like the scene in the movie.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like in some ways it's out of place, but
it is kind of out of place. Because I'm
like,
wondering why when they stand up, their voices change and it goes in color for each character when it like highlights them. Like I don't know. I need to die. I need to like think about that.
Like
scene
you can
more.
get lost in your dreams and like it's like an escape or something like that. I forget what I was reading because I would like that's the first thing I googled. Like
I mean,
like,
that's a heavy scene because I think the whole movie is really like, aside from just obviously being very meta, I think it's trying to tell a lot of different things and trying to help the viewer find a lot of meaning and stuff. And I think that scene is like a little heavy-handed of like, if you can't suspend your disbelief, like you can't lose yourself in this, and like
grief. You can't get past grief.
Yeah.
Probably you can't, like Like, well, it's funny. Which one of you guys said that this wasn't as typical as a Wes Anderson? Was it Brenden or Dom?
Dom.
That was me.
Okay, because like that's the first thing I thought. Like even from the beginning, like the camera movements, like the way it was, like I was just like, well,
a lot of the framing was a lot of the framing.
Yeah, and I totally dug that. I'm like, oh man, this is like definitely Wes Anderson stepping out of. It's very Wes Anderson-y, but at the same time, it seemed like it was him stepping out of his comfort zone. And I feel like to a lot of critics and a lot of people, that was probably off-putting to a lot of people because they're like, he doesn't do that. He never does that. He sticks by what he does all the time, and this was very different, but not different, but yeah, different in a lot of ways than a lot of his other stuff he's done.
It's fair that may have been part of the reason that like I went in expecting a Wes
Same,
Anderson movie.
100%. That's why I was surprised how much I liked it. Because like maybe I liked it because I've seen so many
because
Wes
it was
Anderson
different.
movies. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was actually something different
Yeah.
from him. You know,
like the trailer scene, like them talking back and forth, like has that like Wes Anderson
yes,
frame
100%.
into it.
The window scenes are
still-
totally Wes Anderson.
But it's still not like it's not the shot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He always
Yeah,
has
yeah,
like a shot of like close up on people's like it was there, but like not there.
It was replaced, I think, a lot with like the back and forth, like the across the balcony, across the window. I feel like that was the face up, like the close face shots of this movie.
No, he does that too.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Like talking across.
Fuck, man. It's a fucking good movie. I liked it a lot. My opinion has risen throughout this conversation. Is there anything else specifically that anyone else wants to talk about or bring up, or scenes they did or didn't like or anything like that? Or are we at the point of...
I thought Liv Schreiber was pretty good too.
He's awesome. He's always good.
He just at one point like just has the gun. And they're like threatening to take away. He just starts shooting it everywhere.
Yeah, it's good. Him and his, I'm assuming his son, like their scenes together are really good throughout the movie. As like that changes.
His son's the one who jumps off the roof, right?
Yes, his son's the one who keeps saying, "Do you dare me?"
Yeah, do you dare me?
Yeah. When
that conversation was really good too.
Amazing,
so good.
amazing, and like when that's another great Steve Carell scene because he's like,
also another great scene about like why are you doing that?
Yes.
I just want to find some meaning in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Liv Schreiber's like, well, what do you dare? Like, dare to what? And he goes, you dare me to climb that cactus? And they're both like, God no. Or like, I think Steve Carell goes, God no. I'm just like, all right, Steve Carell's so good at this fucking movie. Fuck, man, it's a really good movie.
It's a shame because I honestly think this is an Oscar-worthy movie, and I don't think it's going to get any accolades or anything.
Yeah, it on their IMDb page they
could get like
there's nothing really here.
like,
cinematography maybe.
What's the other thing, like set design or something like that?
Yeah.
Like totally should get something like that.
Yeah,
I was in love with the set design. I was like, oh man, this movie's just fucking gorgeous.
It's so good. There are so many.
I love like the cop and the burglars and the cops driving by constantly shooting. You know,
and I don't know what it is with Wes Anderson recently, and like wanting to try CGI, but like the alien just looks so weird. It's like looks like his CGI, and then the Roadrunner.
Yeah, it looks like it looked.
I thought it was just stop motion. I honestly thought
the Roadrunner might be stop motion. I think the alien was CGI.
Like in the suit, like Jeff Goldblum or the spaceship,
like in the play. Like in the play.
Interesting.
In the play when he shows up and like picks up the asteroid,
which that
might
scene
be stop motion.
That scene I fucking loved so much too, because that's like, again, I didn't know Jeff Goldblum was in this movie, and I knew that there was an alien because of the intro scroll when it like flashed the actors' names and their roles. And when he finally shows up, I'm like, oh fucking, I'm so curious like how this is gonna, like, why is this part of this movie, like whatever. And he finally comes, like, he, like, everything about that scene, his entrance, where it's like a very slow, like the fucking thing comes down, he steps on it, and he's like, coming down, and he's just like looking around, blinking, and then he just like slowly starts to pick the thing up, and like he gets back on his thing, and he's like. And then he goes back up, and I looked at Jen. I'm like, "Is this guy? That's his. Like, is he not going to say a word in this movie?" That was like,
basically.
But Tilda Swinton was really good in this movie too. Actually,
yeah, she was.
And that was not your typical. It didn't even. At some points, I'm like, "Is that Tilda Swinton?" I'm like, it didn't even remind me of her. You know, it's like just.
Yeah, I had to pause it. At full disclosure, by the time I watched the movie, it was no longer on Peacock. I was like, I drove on the Peacock. I was like, it's not here anymore. What am I? Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. I was like, oh, all right. I guess I got to go here now. But they have, the X-ray thing, so I pause and it'll just tell me what actors are like.
How good is that? I never knew that was a thing. Like that's another thing I was going to bring up. Like every scene, you can tap your screen and it tells you all the actors that are on the screen. If you're watching it on your phone or like you're doing whatever, like if you pause it, it tells you all the actors, each scene by scene, which is like I didn't even know that was a thing. Which is really cool.
It is a pretty cool feature.
Another scene I like too, though, like not to keep on going, was when like he's
talk until we don't have anything to talk about.
No, but when he's sitting by himself, and the kid, and then like they're all like, I forget what they say to him, but like that whole interaction and like you're
They're like,
oh,
are you shy? Are you intimidated by us? And
he's like, nah,
that
I'm
part.
not, yeah,
not
yes, that
intimidated.
scene's so good too. Yeah, I love it.
I will say, I mean, regardless of whether or not we've all liked this movie, I feel like we have talked pretty voraciously about this movie. Like we've had a lot to talk about, which I feel like is not always the case with some of the movies we pick. It's definitely a thought-provoking film. I liked it a lot.
So now I gotta watch Saltburn with Amanda. I gotta watch this. I gotta stop watching movies by myself and just fucking watch them with Amanda at this point. Because like,
Oh, did
I'm
you
like, I
already
want her to
watch
play
Saltburn?
Yeah, I already watched it. I loved it, but like, I do not think I don't. There's a reason why I definitely might not pick that movie because like, although we'll have a lot to talk about if I do pick that movie. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else anyone wants to talk about with Asteroid City before we move on?
Banger of a pick, Mike.
Mike, that's big praise coming from the self-appointed fucking movie guy.
Yeah, I suppose. I ain't doing this for accolades. I'm doing this because you guys are asking me to.
What is everyone's final thoughts? Everyone's opinions stay the same on this movie?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. It was a good pick, Mike. I will give it to you. I think we're not doing this again because we do it too fucking often. I don't remember what all the movies were last year, but I agree with Todd. If it wasn't the best, it was definitely one of the best. Oh, I think we all said that Blackberry was the best.
Blackberry was the best, but
and
you
Blackberry
had
was
waffled.
the last movie. Blackberry.
You had
hit me the
waffled
same way
because
this
you were
movie hit
like,
me.
yeah, you had waffled like I really liked La La Land.
I did like La La Land.
La La Land's great too, but yeah, no, this movie hit me the same way. Like it's a movie that I was expecting to think it would probably be good, but not like amazing. And same with Blackberry. I was like, oh, I'll watch it. Like sometimes you guys make these picks, and I'm like, I'm just being a little bitch, and it's just like, oh, I want an action movie or a horror movie, and like then I'm like, all right, I watch the movie, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta watch more movies because of this, because like this is like
this is a perfect example. And I guess to an extent La La Land is too. Like this is a perfect example of a movie I probably never would have watched, and I was forced to watch it, and I'm so fucking happy that I watched this movie.
Oh, I'm so back with Wes Anderson, by the way. I'm watching all his shit now. You know, it's like after Fantastic Mr. Fox and this, I'm so back.
This is a movie I'm going to be thinking about for a bit. I will say too, like I know we briefly touched on the three kids. I wonder if their like masks also are like pointed at something, because they obviously like talk about being witches, but like I think one of them at one point is wearing a witch hat, one of them is wearing some other mask, and another one is wearing a different mask.
Yeah.
So I
The
wonder.
one behind Dom's shoulder.
I mean, I'm looking at the stream, so I can't see Dom's full thing. Oh yeah, I don't know what that mask is. There's a witch hat, maybe a princess fairy thing. I don't know what the middle one is supposed to be. But it actually looks like they're sharing the costume sets. So like the one in the crown on the right has a black cape that probably goes with the witch hat. The one in the middle, I don't know what the mask is, but is wearing wings, which probably go with the girl on the right, who's maybe supposed to be a fairy, and I can't see what the witch hat child is wearing. But even
so
just
weird seeing Tom Hanks in a Wes Anderson movie,
Yeah.
because Tom Hanks like doesn't veer off the path of what he's done over the last couple of years. So it's
Yeah.
like, I wish more actors would just do this shit, you know?
they're another interesting like depiction of people dealing with grief too, because like they deal with their mother's ashes in like a very specific way, and
he doesn't like Jason Schwartzman, but he does, but he doesn't, and it's like, he fucking, you know, like that whole interaction was great.
There's a lot of really good like, and again, like I think that just goes back to grief as a thing in general. Like there is no correct way to deal with grief. Like there's no correct way to deal with that type of emotion, and I think this movie is like doing that on every level, like Dom said, trying to find meaning and stuff. I don't think it's just trying to find meaning in regards to in relation to grief, but I think just in general, it's like grief is such a hard thing to deal with, and I think the movie itself is not just about grief, but just about, like Dom said, finding meaning and stuff, and there is no right answer necessarily. There isn't a right path forward. There's just things that affect you. And it's dealing with that after being affected. Anyways, fuck Mike. Really good fucking pick. Fuck. Mike over here with the banger of 2023. Redo your top 10, Mike, and add Asteroid City onto it. I will say, when I put up the so if you're listening to this over on our Twitter, I don't know if they'll find their way anywhere else, maybe on Instagram or something, or maybe somewhere else. I put up 4 cards with each of our own top 10s for the year, and Mike's was a mix of different media, so it wasn't just games, it was, movies, other stuff, anime. But last week there was a movie that you mentioned, and I'm surprised it wasn't on your top, because I feel like last week you were a little soft on John Wick 4, but there was some other movie that you brought up, but you were like, oh, no one saw that. I think it was with an R, like Remnant or Reaper or something.
What did I watch? I would have to look at
Regent. I don't know.
The creator was the creator.
Maybe it was the creator. Yeah, it was definitely like a one-word title. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised when that wasn't there.
That's the only movie I can think of that I saw last year that I thought was good, but I don't think it got a lot of it was like a very cheap movie for them to make, and I believe they also didn't do a whole lot of marketing because it snuck up on me. I watched it because I liked the director, and I like the actors that were in it. Yeah, I forget. I think I was trying to figure out how I could do across media,
like
if I was doing evenly, sort of, because like if I do 2 things from games, movies, television, and then anime separately, that leaves me with space for 2 extra things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know, I'll just round it out somehow.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's your list. You do whatever you want. I was just surprised because I thought I feel like you didn't talk about it because I don't think any of us knew what you were talking about. But you, I don't know. Anyways,
maybe I'm February, right? Maybe that'll be my February pick. We'll see what happens.
Whoa. Little tease, little spoilers.
Unless Todd steals it from me, in which case, have fun with it.
So the 3 daughters' names are Cassiopeia, Andromeda, and Pandora. They're the names of constellations. And at one point, Woodrow says, "My mother didn't know the names of constellations, so she made up her own."
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the 3 girls are all named after constellations,
right.
So.
Well, she made up her own. She had 3 kids and made them up.
She made up the names for the constellations.
No, but I think that's like maybe like a funny little joke maybe in that is like as in addition to
yeah.
But I also do I do like that. Fuck man, they're all good. Like there's a lot of good scenes. That scene too is just like a little fun, like humorous, where he says what his mother called the constellations. Like I don't know, it's just silly. It's a good scene.
Who's the cowboy dude who played the love interest of Maya Hawke? Is he like a famous
Rupert Friend?
What's he from? Is he from anything?
He looks super familiar.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, that's why I know him. That's so weird. I looked at his filmography. I'm like, I don't know where I know him from.
I don't know what else he was in. He was in Kenobi. In Kenobi.
Oh, Kenobi. Okay.
I knew his name. I saw his. I'm like, Todd.
I thought he was the guy who played Solo for a second. Like I was like,
no, he's the guy that plays Hitman in Hitman Agent 47. So the one that's not Timothy Oliphant, but the other one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, weird. I thought that dude was way older.
All right.
He's also in The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. He's becoming a Wes Anderson actor.
Wes Anderson's loyal, man. If you're loyal to him, man, just fucking, I'd get on that train all day long.
Was he in French Dispatch?
Mm-hmm. He is drill sergeant. So do with that what you will.
All right. Is that it for the movie?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I'm opening up the new leaderboard for the year as we are coming into the end of this episode here. So we got a fresh scoreboard. Already 2 points on the board, though. 1 for Todd, 1 for Dom. But we will get to that in just a second. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 401. I almost said 300. I almost said 301. 401 of the Pass the Controller podcast. We appreciate you sticking around for, I don't know, like 13 years at this point, and coming into 2024 with us for the first episode. If you are a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to support the show, the best ways you can do that and the easiest ways to do that is just simply go over wherever you listen to the show, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever. Leave us a 5-star review. It's super beneficial. It helps us continue to grow this show. We'd really be appreciative if you left us a 5-star review. If you have other bucks hanging around and you want to support the show, you can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller. And you can subscribe to us over there. You can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller and become a patron. Or you can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and get yourself some swag. If you are an audio listener, just as a reminder, we do record the show live every week over at twitch.tv/passcontroller. So if you want to watch the show live, we'll be over there. If you can't catch us live, but you still want to watch the show, you can do that by going to our YouTube channel. Just search Pass the Controller on YouTube, and you will see us over there. Without further ado, because it is a movie episode, if this is your first time listening or not a regular listener, we usually end each show with a game. Because it's a movie episode, we're going to play the movie game, which the way that works is I will start reading just different things about the film. Actors, year of release, genre, budget, whatever. Different things to point them towards the correct film. Whoever guesses the film first correctly gets the point. As we said, Dom and Todd got points already, so they are both sitting tied at first yet again with a point each. Mike, let's see how we're going to fare this year. So we'll pick 3 movies, and we will get to that in just a second. Let me see which order I want to do these in. I don't really think there's a correct order, so we're just going to go with it. This 2008 PG-13 film clocks in at 1 hour and 48 minutes. Pull this one up. This movie does not have any Oscar wins or nominations, but it does have other awards, including 3 different BAFTA nominations and 2 different Golden Globe nominations. For the Golden Globe nominations, it was nominated for Best Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical, and Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Incorrect. Oof. Is that the right year for that?
It was either 2008 or 2009. Right. Actually, it might have been 2010, now that I think about it. It might have been 2010.
Let me see if this is helpful here.
PG-13. PG-13 is not in my wheelhouse. Unless it's like a Marvel movie or fucking...
Todd's been watching rated R movies since he was like 5.
You may know the director of this film from such films as this movie. This movie's sequel.
Anchorman?
Incorrect. The Iron Lady and Herself.
This movie's sequel. The movie...
What was the last one? Herself?
Herself.
Not to be confused with the movie Her.
How is that? That's actually one of my picks, possibly for our next.
This film has a 55% tomato meter and a 66% audience score. Rotten Tomatoes.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
When you said the director is known, so
IMDb, if you click on an actor or director or anybody, if you go to their page, it'll highlight what they say their top 4 known things are.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
that's what IMDb says that you may know this director from. Rotten Tomatoes says if you like this movie, you might also like Twilight.
Ooh.
The Proposal.
Twilight was going to be one of my guesses, by the way. I was going to guess Twilight.
I don't. Yeah, that's out of my.
That's not
I
a
think that's
comedy
too early.
or a
Though.
musical.
I think that's too early.
I know
too,
that's
right?
Twilight might have been 2008, 2009, but it wasn't a comedy or musical, so like I had to
Mm-hmm.
pull it back pretty early on.
You might also like Confessions of a Shopaholic, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, and Penelope.
All right, this is a very, very weird guess here. Is the correct answer Freaky Friday?
Incorrect.
Oh God, that would
Freaky
make
Friday
sense if
came
Brendan-
out
if
before
Brendan
we
picked
were
that,
watching
would
that in
make
high
sense.
school.
I had to guess it.
According to Box Office Mojo, this film had a budget of $52 million and worldwide gross of $610 million.
No wonder why I got a sequel, despite the less than glowing reviews there.
Yeah, bad reviews, and it got nominated for Golden Globes. It made a boatload of money, though.
Yeah.
You
2008.
may recognize the third billed actress from such roles as Les Miserables, Mean Girls, Dear John, and Letters to Juliet.
Mamma Mia.
It is indeed Mamma Mia, and Dom gets the point. Here we go again.
I don't know if he was saying "Here we go again" because
That's
That's
the
the
sequel.
sequel.
again, or because it's a
Were you
Mamma Mia,
actually? Yeah, right.
but it worked both.
Yeah, it's meta, just like the movie.
Mamma Mia.
Who was the actress? Was it,
Mamma
what's
Mia.
her face?
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda
Yes, that's
Seyfried.
the one, yeah.
Yes.
Mamma Mia.
Who's in Mamma Mia connected to Wes Anderson?
That's what I'm
Who
trying to
said
do
it's
right
connected?
now.
Why does it have to be connected?
That's what I'm trying to do right now. I can't remember who the dads were.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the two Golden Globes were, I forget, or I don't know, the actress was Meryl Streep that was nominated.
Yeah, because Iron Chef, you said. Yep.
This movie number 2. This 2014 rated R
Ooh,
film
that's a weird year.
clocks in
I
at
like
an
it.
hour and 54 minutes.
Oof.
You said rated R?
Rated R.
Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Dom going for the jugular. Incorrect.
What would make Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, rated R?
I don't know, nudity.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, this film has an 87% tomato meter and an 85% audience score. And they say you might also like The Fault in Our Stars, The Intern,
And they say.
Much Ado About Nothing, Saint Vincent, and
This is a great movie.
Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Into the world.
You guys
Which one
seen
was
St.
the
Vincent, by the way?
intern? No, I
If
haven't.
I seen
I think
something, no.
St. Vincent's with, what's his name? Fucking SNL.
Bill
Wes
Murray.
Anderson.
Bill Murray's on the cover of that picture that I saw for that movie.
Yeah. It's so,
What?
it's so
Which
good.
one's the intern?
I think that's with Vince Vaughn, right?
No, that was the
No.
internship.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, so the one with Al Pacino? Robert De Niro. And he's like the intern
This isn't
for
helping me anymore. This isn't
Yeah.
helping me anymore.
intern for I think Anne Hathaway's the company.
Oh,
or-
okay. Yes. Okay.
I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yes, I do remember what you're talking about. He's like a retired guy that's like looking for work or something.
Yeah.
This movie had a budget, and this is according to Wikipedia. This movie had a budget of $11 million and grossed worldwide $48.5 million.
Okay.
That's not enough. What was the name of that movie?
You didn't give us a genre or anything, right?
I did not.
It's rated R.
Devil Wears Prada.
Incorrect.
That's not rated R.
This film has 4 award nominations and 2 wins, none of which are Oscars or Golden Globes or BAFTAs.
MTV Choice Awards.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. It has a nomination for a Critic Choice Award. It has a nomination for Casting Society of America USA. Don't know what that is. I'm not going to read the other two because I don't know what they are. I'll say it won the Audience Award at the Tribeca Film Festival. Whatever
Okay,
that
so
means.
is that Tribeca?
You see the running time of this movie?
Rated R. Hour 45. Hour 54.
Hour 54.
Yeah, sure.
Rated R.
Did you say? I'm sorry. You said what did it win the award for? You didn't say just one
Tribeca
award.
Film Festival Award.
But it didn't. You didn't say what it was.
It won Audience Award or something, Audience Choice or something. You may know this director from one movie we watched at some point for a PTC Movie Club.
Fantastic.
Another movie that I know for sure we have all seen. This movie, which I can't say, and a TV series, which I know for sure we have all seen. I cannot tell you what any of these are because it will be too revealing.
Oh, it's Looper.
Incorrect.
I think Looper made more money than 55 million. So
Yeah, maybe.
Probably had a bigger budget too, I feel like.
probably yeah. But that movie was pretty big.
Bruce Willis has got to cost a lot of money.
You may know this second build actor from any of their 147 nominations across their career. Why is this not loading? Hold on. Including 2 Oscar nominations.
I won an Oscar.
This
is the second build actor?
This is the second build actor.
Oh, second build. Okay.
I don't know why I did that, but we're just going to roll with it. They were nominated in 2009 for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, and in 1993 for Best Actor in a Leading Role.
Okay, so that throws me off.
1993 in a leading role.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that. That's just fucks with me now because.
Okay, so it must be this actor, which is weird for me to say that because, like, now that I think about it, I don't know what year that movie came out, and they would have got a.
Don't give them freebies, Mike. Don't give them freebies.
Well, I
is
know,
it Creed?
This is a fresh year, Mike. It's not Creed.
but I don't know what movie would have come out that year that they would have.
This
2014 rated R.
This
I
actor's.
don't remember the name of that movie.
I
I don't know who directed the movie either.
All 3 of the top billed actors from this film appear in the MCU.
Oh yeah, I feel like everyone's in the MCU at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second billed actor you may recognize from 3 MCU films. This is, again, according to IMDb, their top 4 things. 3 MCU films and a 4th film that I'm not sure if any of us have watched. I can't say the name of it because it'll be too revealing. But I guess we should have to start revealing stuff soon.
The 4th film, which is I'm trying to think of like a dumb movie that had like the name of the actor in the title.
Saint Vincent. Got it.
The third billed actress has 234 nominations in total, including 70 wins and 2 Oscar nominations.
No Oscar wins though.
No wins. If this page will load. I don't know why my computer is like not loading these web pages. They were nominated twice in 2020 for Best Performance by an Actress. I'm sorry. They were nominated twice in 2020 for Oscars. Once for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role, and once for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role.
2014.
according to IMDb, you might know the third billed actress from such films as Lost in Translation, Her,
Okay.
the MCU, or
No, of course.
Ghost World.
Ooh, I don't know who that actress is. Guys, we should think about this.
Yeah. Let's ponder. Let's ponder real hard.
What movie is this though?
I don't know, though. That's the thing. I have no fucking
2014.
clue.
And their third build.
Oh, their third build. Oh, fuck.
That is
okay.
the
I think that's what you said, right?
Yes,
I was thinking they were-
that
yeah, I
actress
was
is
thinking
the
it was-
third billed actress.
Huh. Oh, fuck. What's the name of this movie?
This movie has an interesting spin-off television show that shares the
Is it Don Juan?
incorrect.
No, goddamn.
The television show shares
shares.
both the name and the lead actor and the director, but is not fiction.
Is not fiction, you said.
I just got so lost.
Yeah, same. That threw me for a way more of a loop than. Do you guys know what Don Juan is?
So
Yes, it's
Definitely heard of
PGL,
that.
right?
let me.
What's that?
I'll make it.
PGL.
Yeah.
I'll make it a little clearer what I just said without being too revealing. It shares. It is related to the film, in that it shares the name. It is clearly inspired by the film, and includes the real life. It's not fiction, so it's not the director and lead actor playing the character. It is them in this Netflix spinoff. I think it's Netflix. I don't remember actually. TV show spinoff.
I am more confused after your
Same. 100%.
Explanation.
I'm fucking lost.
I feel like this is a lot of information, and it should immediately click with me if I know what it is, and it's not, which is kind of upsetting. Because I probably do know what you're talking about, and I'll say, "Oh, of course."
Oh, is it what was the name of that movie? Is it Chef?
It is Chef. It is indeed Chef. I can't believe
Really?
Todd did not
Oh,
get
wow,
that.
yeah. Bro, I feel like that was not none of those.
I would have
clues
never
were-
gotten that. Never mind.
Yeah, like that. Nothing was
The
leading me in that
lead,
direction.
three lead actors are all MCU.
Yeah,
I
no,
just-
Jon
no, no,
Favreau.
Every time you say someone's from
I
the
just had
MCU, it goes fucking through my head.
But
I'm
did
like,
you not
okay,
all
here's
know
the thing, like-
ScarJo?
Yes,
I never watched-
like
I never watched the movie. I know that Jon Favreau's in it, but I didn't know ScarJo was in that movie. I don't know who's.
I know
that film.
ScarJo's in it, but like, yeah, no, that shit. Like,
Have
if
you
I
seen
hear
it,
MCU,
Nope. I just had to think of movies where the director also was like one of the lead actors, and that's like what I came up with.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't even hear that part. Yeah, no.
He did a show. I think it's just called Chef
He
Show.
just-
It's so
yeah,
fucking
just said
good.
he
it's
was-
like a live action.
He just said he was in the show, and I was like, all right, so he must be also in the movie. All right, directors that were also like the actor, like, and also in the MCU.
It was hard to give me any, like, especially about when I was talking about the director. I was like, oh, actually, I can't say any of these things, because if I say Mandalorian or say Iron Man, like, it's just gonna be very clear who at least the director is.
I also forgot that there was a chef show. I think I did know it. At
It's
some
so
point, but
good.
that's what we got.
But damn,
Still do it, or is it over?
Todd, Mike and Dom haven't seen the movie. One of us should probably pick the Chef, because it's fucking might be one of my favorite
I
movies of
know,
all time.
for real.
It's so
it's,
good.
it's a top 5 favorite movie for me. It's easily.
It's so good.
It's like such a like feel good movie. Like every time I watch it, I'm like happy.
Who are the top 3 billed actors there?
John Favreau, Robert Downey Jr., ScarJo.
Leguizamo?
Nope.
Oh, is
Yeah, so
wait,
Sofia Vergara
oh.
is popping up as the second build on. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say because like Robert Downey Jr. is barely in that movie. It's
I
gonna be
just
John
go off
Leguizamo
IMDb. Whatever, like
Oh,
to
okay.
keep it
Yeah.
consistent, I just do IMDb.
Yeah.
So
No,
like
it's-
whatever.
That's fine. That's why I
Because
was.
Robert Downey
asking.
Jr. is in like 2 seconds of that movie. He's barely even in it.
But my next set of run of clues were going to be John Leguizamo related, because I feel like that would have pushed it a little.
It wouldn't have helped me at all because again, I have not seen the film.
It's so good.
All right. I don't know.
Cubano?
I don't know if this movie's two devil horns or not. We'll find out. This 2009 Movie number 3. This 2009 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Oh,
2009 feels like a long movie.
It does.
This film has 3 award nominations. 2 are Teen Choice Awards, and 1 is an IGN Summer Movie Award.
A Teen Choice Award?
Teen Choice. I can't speak. Teen Choice Award.
2009.
Yeah. I don't know why I just said yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
yeah.
I'm drinking a grapefruit juice. I'm not even drinking right now. I'm just hanging out.
Airbud.
Did you say Airbud?
Is it Anchorman 2?
Incorrect.
Is it Anchorman?
Incorrect. This film has a 69% tomato meter, nice, and a 48% audience score.
And you said PG-13, correct?
R.
No, R.
Oh, R. Okay.
So right up your wheelhouse.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like.
Oh, 2020 something minutes though.
Yeah, it is long. It's over. It's like 2.5 almost.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Wanted, Superbad,
Those movies are not like each other at all.
No.
Yeah, no.
I Love You Man, and Sex in the City, the movie.
Oh, okay.
That jumped around. Like, 3 of these movies make sense, I think. The other 2, I'm not sure. You may recognize, or I guess we'll do this. Maybe we can't do this. We'll see. Let me see what it says. You may know this director from, according to IMDb, their top 4, such things as Girls, the HBO show, The King of Staten Island, Knocked Up, and The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
What year did you say this was again?
2009.
Oh, it's Funny People.
It is indeed Funny People. Mike gets the point. Did anyone else watch that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I liked it or not.
I haven't watched it. Staten Island's fucking great though. If you guys haven't,
I have not
I
seen
like
that.
that.
Just I think about the Judd Apatow movie that no one ever talks about. And I was like, oh yeah, Funny People. I saw that.
Well, I think it has like legit like stand up through like half of the movie, like of,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it
the
does.
characters and everything. Yeah.
I think
I
it has a
believe those
lot of young
characters-
stand-up too.
those
Like,
actors.
there's like Aziz, I think, isn't it pretty young?
I think Adam
there's a lot of
Sandler
young
does stand up in it.
comedians in it.
They really went out and did stand up, from what I recall.
Yes, Aziz played a character, and he did that character as part of his stand-up sets to prepare for it.
Is
Randy.
Is Bo Burnham? Oh my god, Randy! Holy shit! Is Bo Burnham in it too? I think he might be. I don't remember.
I think he's there.
He might show up.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a bunch of people like
there.
yeah. I
there's
remember
a bunch of people
Aubrey
like
Plaza being
in the background too. Like
Yeah.
like comedians just showed up to like be like
like in the
comedians
background,
like
yeah.
sitting
Do you
backstage.
choose that for Jason Schwartzman?
I chose obviously the ScarJo pick. You understand?
Yeah, who was
No, I'm
in
saying
Mamma
with
Mia?
Funny People was
Mamma Mia, Tom Hanks.
Oh,
Wait, Tom
I
Hanks is in
did not
Mamma
know
Mia?
he was in that
I mean,
movie.
it was linked on his IMDb, so that's what I chose. And then, yes, Jason Schwartzman is who I linked to Funny People. That ends the first week of the year, first episode of the year, with Dom sitting in first with 3 points, and Mike and Todd tied in second with 1 point apiece. I'm looking forward to another interesting year of the scoreboard. We appreciate you for hanging out. Todd, do you have a pick, or you want to wait till next week? It's fine if you want to wait till next week. Don't feel pressure to pick off the cuff.
I mean, if we can, I might even do a poll if it comes down to it. But I could probably have it by tomorrow if you want to do it that way. If you want to wait till the show, you can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I'll tweet it out, but I mean, more people will see it from the show anyway.
I want to mull over a couple things though, because
I might. There's no rush.
I've been
until next
movies,
episode.
A lot of these movies I've been picking, I've been doing like movies I haven't seen but I always wanted to watch kind of things. But then there's some movies I actually want to pick, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have a theme or anything this year, but I think I might just keep sticking with movies that I have not watched that I want to watch. I think the only time I didn't do that was when I made you guys watch The Big Sick, but
I thought you watched Manchester by the Sea before we watched it.
I did
Or
not.
Was I?
I did.
I have not any of the movies I've picked aside from The Big Sick. I have not watched. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look through the list, but I'm pretty sure that stays consistent throughout. I will say I did watch Past Lives last week, and
bad. Ugh, it was a painful sit.
you didn't watch
No,
it.
no.
I kind of want to pick that movie because I think it's pretty good. I don't know if any of you have an interest in seeing that, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Anyways, that'll do it for this week's episode 401. Until next time.